Boom. All right, we're live. We're live. Rein in the salty language.
Stop swearing.
Yes. That's directly aimed at you, Mr. UK.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Us Brits are known for this exuberant language, shall we say.
That's why we love you.
Wanker.
Excellent.
That would be mild. That would be mild language, Dave.
I mean, I knew that,
fairly.
but I can't forget it from Ted Lasso's.
I know.
Oh, excellent. Yeah.
All right. So let us get started. Let's just start. I'm going to start this and we'll go from there. I'll introduce both of you and then we'll see if we want to kick in with any thoughts or rumors before they get started, and then we'll go. We'll just see what they do. Ready?
As I'll ever be.
Dave's staring at the screen.
I'm good.
All right.
Just getting
Here
the
we
feed
go.
place.
In 3, 2, 1. It's For Mac Eyes Only, episode number 458 for September 9th, 2025. Reaction time. Apple's awe-dropping event. Hey everyone, welcome back to For Mac Eyes Only, the show for the Mac community. Why do I stumble on that every time, Darren? The show for the Mac
It's my
community.
fault. Oh, sorry.
The show
I'll
for the
be
Mac
better.
community, where we share our thoughts and opinions on current Mac news and events. And we are back with another reaction time episode during which we are going to provide our live, unedited reactions to Apple's announcements as they occur on stage. And joining me for today's Apple event is For Mac Eyes Only co-host Darren Davies. Hi Darren, how you doing?
Hello there. I'm hoping my all will be dropped.
Oh, yes.
Well, my all will be dropped, indeed, yes.
I have a question for you about that in just a moment. And stopping by to share his iOS expertise, special guest and host of In Touch with iOS, Dave Ginsburg. Thanks for joining us, Dave. How are you?
Thanks for having me. I'm in awe to find out what they're going to announce today.
And remember, we do normally record For Mac Eyes Only live on YouTube the second and fourth Saturday of the month. And if you would like to come hang out, ask questions, and be part of our live studio audience, be sure to subscribe to the show at youtube.com/FMEO TV. And if you are joining us live on YouTube, especially today during the reaction time episode, I'm going to be keeping an eye on the chat room too. So if you have any questions or comments, be sure to drop them in there and we will address them as we move along. Oh, and I do have a quick programming note. Our next regular episode of For Mac Eyes Only, number 459, will be Saturday, October 11th. Okay, this time we are here for Apple's awe-dropping event, exactly 1 year to the date. Did you guys realize that? It's exactly 1 year to the date since last year's iPhone event. And while many are saying that we're in store for a major overhaul of the iPhone, from all the rumors that I've seen, I'm not seeing much that's making my awe drop. In fact, I think we may be in store for a rather standard iPhone update event this year. In fact, I don't expect it's going to be a long event. I mean, how much time can you spend talking about a redesign that amounts to it's thinner? And oh yeah, and I know Dave's going to have a comment about this. We made the back look like a Google Pixel. Enjoy.
Oh.
Okay.
Wait, let me go get my Google Pixel. I have the Pixel 10 now. So.
I know you do. I do have one prediction, though. And I want to say this. As Apple's event is starting to my right here, I do have one prediction. I predict, despite all the rumors, that this year's iPhone will be called the iPhone 26. I think it's going to be called the iPhone 26. I find it interesting that Apple doesn't seem to think that iPhone 17 is confusing, but iOS 19 is confusing. Hence my prediction. But I want to hear from the panel because a recent rumor suggests that because today is also actually the 10th anniversary of the iPad Pro's release, we may hear something from Apple about that today. And I know that that rumor might have Darren excited. What do you think, Darren? Are we going to get a new iPad today, or is this strictly going to be phone, watch, and AirPods?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's tricky to cram everything that could possibly be new into a single event. So yeah, I think there's going to be similar to the last time and the time before that announcements for new products are going to be spread across like one or two events, and we'll probably have an October event or as well as this one. But that's jumping ahead quite a bit.
Or at least an October press release. That's kind of what Apple's
Yeah,
been doing
exactly.
recently. We haven't really had any true events in quite some time now. How about you, Dave? Any last second predictions from In Touch with iOS?
Yeah, I had two predictions that I actually did on the Mac show. I think Apple Watch Pro is going to possibly come out with the SOS limited capabilities, as well as the AirPods Pro will support lossless audio.
Okay.
Those are my two predictions.
That'll be really interesting. As we're saying that, Apple is taking the virtual stage right at this moment. So I guess why don't we see what our pre-recorded friends from Apple have to say? Tim Cook's video is currently playing. Anything of note so far, Dave?
Yes. So far, I saw an opening where it showed the HomePod, so I'm curious to see, and some home things. That was the intro. Nothing yet, but that's why I made that look when while we were starting. It's like, whoa, that they opened with that means maybe something's happening here. So yeah, that was interesting.
We have not heard any concrete rumors about anything home related. I mean, there have been rumors about home related, right? There's been rumors, but nothing concrete about today.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're talking about the AirPods right now. Nothing yet, but about what's new, other than how great it is with hearing aid support and being able to have good hearing improvements using the AirPods, which is an amazing technology they added to the current right now version of the AirPods. But
yeah, I'm happy to say that in the last episode I shared with Darren that I ordered the AirPods Pro 2 because they're on a really great sale price. I mean, they were $169. Now they have not shipped yet. They have not shipped yet. They're on some weird extreme back order. I did order them because I had heard the rumor that we weren't going to see AirPods Pro 3s this year. So I went ahead and ordered them, and then a week later, the rumors come out that the AirPods Pro 3 are coming. So I have a feeling this order that Mike placed is going to be canceled, and I'll wait and see what the AirPods Pro 3s are going to bring us. But did they actually say AirPods Pro 3?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Just about.
Not yet.
All the fantastic new features. I
do like that they're highlighting assistive technologies, starting with the AirPods, but Apple have always had a really good record with assistive technologies, and a lot of them are actually quite useful for people who don't usually need assistance. So yeah, it's really good.
That's a very, very good point. I mean, not only the assistive technologies, the hearing aid functionality, and while it's not technically an assistive technology, I'm very interested in the rumors about live translation. As I mentioned on the show before, I think that's an amazing new feature. I mean, Babelfish in the ear. Or Babelfish. Babelfish, yeah.
They did say it's official. AirPods Pro 3.
Okay.
And, so far, 2x active noise cancellation versus the AirPods Pro 2. That's pretty cool. Because already, I use it when I'm flying on a plane. Yeah, it's pretty gosh darn good. I mean, I used to always bring my Bose QC35s. Oh, this is great. But Now it's pretty awesome, and this is probably going to even be more awesome. My Apple Card's ready.
I can imagine
Well, today
that.
could be expensive.
I can imagine that
It's going
active
to be.
active noise cancellation is good on a plane. I always find it very unsettling. I don't like complete noise cancellation, so I always turn on the
Yeah.
transparency feature.
Right. And then on a plane, when you do that transparency, at least my experience, it's just there's a lot of rush in the hearing when you hear it, because you're hearing the air and the sounds of being on a plane.
Yeah.
So I've
Oh,
never
four
liked
times
that.
better. Wow.
Yeah. 4 times better than the AirPods. The AirPods
Indeed.
4, I think.
AirPods one, AirPods. Yeah.
Okay. Wait a minute. 4 times better in what respect? 4 times better.
Noise canceling.
For
Oh, noise
for noise
cancel. Okay.
cancelling. Yeah. I didn't expand on that. Yeah,
I
sorry,
just heard
guys.
4 times better than the air. Okay, 4 times better.
It's
in
generally
what
4
regard?
times better.
3,000 times better. Okay.
Oh wow, this is huge. They've now got, so if you're traveling, like she's showing somebody speaking in Spanish, translation can be picked up in the AirPods, and it will translate it for you as that person speaks to you with the AirPods in your ears.
Yeah, that's that feature I was talking about. I'm super excited
That's
about
it.
that.
That's the one.
That is so cool.
Now, the rumor I had heard, and this was granted several weeks ago, was that this live translation feature was going to come to the AirPods Pro 2. Are they saying that this is going to be exclusive to the 3, Dave? Have you heard that? Or?
Didn't hear that. If it's a software update, I don't know. But does that's not typical what Apple does.
No.
They wanted you to buy the new product.
That's right.
And I would find it hard to believe that they would allow it in both the 2 and the 3. I know there's a lot of 2s out there, but like you said, you bought that at a really good discounted price. But they've been discounting the AirPods Pro 2 for at least the last year.
Yeah.
And you've been getting some great pricing. I watched that pretty closely. And, it was obvious they were working on this for the last year for sure.
Yeah, it bounces between $169 and $199, and they're currently about
Right.
$199 out there.
Yeah.
But the price I had purchased them at was $169, thinking, okay, well that that's a great price for what you're getting. And if they weren't going to introduce a version 3 this fall, well, okay, that makes it even better. Well, now I have to rethink that.
They also mentioned they have 100,000 hours of time to working on the best fitting AirPods ever. So that was always the challenge with people with AirPods. And my wife, especially, she just could not get them to stay in her ears. Her ears were small. I mean, she ended up buying the aftermarket ones that went in there, but then she just felt, the AirPods are not they're aftermarket pads, the buds that you change out. But with the shocks and those ones that are on ear, she's got a pair that she found. TikTok, of course. It was a Lenovo brand, which was crazy. I thought in itself that they're branding earphones with the Lenovo, but she loves them and they fit outside her ear and they're very comfortable. She sleeps with them too, and that's her thing. But oh gosh, no, I don't know if I could go without AirPods. I love them.
The ill-fitting ones typically are the standard AirPods, though, aren't they? I mean, AirPods Pro have all the different tips included in the package,
but
so
she
it's
couldn't
a lot
get
easier.
any one of those tips that came with it. She had to go with third-party tips in order to get it.
Just didn't
to
work,
fit.
huh? Wow. I get
There
it,
we
though.
go.
I get it.
Yeah.
Heart rate sensor now in the AirPods Pro 3.
Oh, nice.
Now, didn't I hear that might possibly be coming later in the year? Like possibly even a second model of AirPods Pro? Or now
apparently
it
not.
sounds
They're
like
just
that's going to
talking
be a
about it now.
feature of these.
Yeah. Well, they were doing studies on it too. It says 250,000 study participants that were working on that,
Wow.
which was a pretty intense study. Right from within the Apple Fitness app, that you can get that summary right from the AirPods.
Now that's a great feature, and it's an even better feature for someone who doesn't have an Apple Watch. But if you have an Apple Watch,
Yeah.
how important do you think that feature might be to someone?
It really varies. Yeah. The Apple Watch, I'm going to go into that assumption. We're going to be talking about that a little bit later here too.
Yeah.
It really is going to vary what the person's needs are. I try to stay as active as I can. I probably don't use the fitness app as much as I should, but there's lots of people are. I mean, this is just, it's a phenomenal tool to have on your iPhone and using it with your Apple Watch to measure this. And now you're extending it. If people don't, there are plenty of people out there who don't want the Apple Watch, but if the AirPods can do some things to help with fitness, that's great too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's another benefit of having two sensors. So taking a heart rate reading from one device and also another device at the same time, you can get more accuracy. So if a single device measurement may or may not be quite as accurate, if it's really important to get an accurate figure, if you have two device measurements, you can turn that into a more accurate figure. So it can be useful to have two.
Yeah.
And of course, the fitness and health apps they can take all that data and give you an average. Yeah, which is good. Now, you don't have an Apple Watch, Darren, right?
Not yet.
Not yet. You do, Dave. Have you ever found yourself at the doctor's office and they're sitting there taking your heart rate and things like that, and then you compare it to what's on your watch?
I have not done that. I have an appointment coming up. I should do that.
I have done that almost every single time, and it's amazing how accurate this little thing in our wrist is when you compare it to these devices in the doctor's office that they paid thousands upon thousands of dollars for. And now I've got my $300 watch that is giving me the exact same readings.
Right. So let me get us caught up here. They improved the battery life, 8 hours versus 6 hours of battery life.
Wow.
10 hours using it as a hearing aid. It's pre-ordered today, $249, and it's going to be shipped next Friday.
Wow, same price. That's great.
Let me get this Apple credit card ready to go here.
Let me get those AirPods Pro 2s canceled.
Yeah. Now we've moved on to the Apple Watch. Let's go on a good pace here.
That's always the downside, isn't it, of buying anything before an event? Because as soon as the event turns up, then whatever you've just bought looks old, and you think, "Oh no, what have I done?"
Certainly, before September, don't buy an Apple Watch. Don't buy an iPhone.
Indeed.
If you're looking to buy
Don't buy anything.
AirPods, I felt kind of comfortable buying them because of all the rumors I've been hearing that maybe those threes aren't going to actually surface this year.
Right. So, and on the Apple Watch, I didn't purchase the Apple Watch Series 10, so I stuck with the Series 9 because of that whole debacle with Massimo and the oxygen sensor, which they've since resolved when they've now moved the data. They moved the data to the iPhone as opposed to appearing on your watch. So I'll be interested to see how they're going to be working with that. I'm ready to upgrade because I don't like having more than 2 years. I've been doing that with the Apple Watch. I've been holding it for 2 years instead of just doing it every year. But I think I'll be ready for this. So.
If I understood correctly, wasn't the 9 also affected by the blood oxygen sensor issue?
At first, it wasn't. I purchased it day one, and it was fine. But then when that lawsuit came through, as it progressed, there was still a ton of stock out there that people were able to buy them and still have the feature. Gotcha. I was worried when they did the update to watchOS, but it didn't affect it. It still stayed the same on this. I'm tempted. Usually I trade this thing in, but they're only giving like maybe $125. Not a lot of money for a trade-in on an Apple Watch.
Yeah.
I'm tempted to keep it just because it'll still be good. But we'll see. Once we start seeing everything else. And I'm getting more and more enticed about the Ultra too, because the Ultra 3, it's expensive. That's the only thing. For what it does, I would probably not use anywhere near as much of those features on the Apple Watch Ultra. I'm sure it's going to be at the 3. Yeah. So I may stick with it. What I've had the whole time since 2015, I've had pretty much every Apple Watch other than I've skipped a couple years going here and there. So.
Well, with the low trade-in values, Dave, you can just backfill your collection with old stock.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
go
that's
to
true.
some reseller and just order all the past editions that you didn't get before.
That's right. Yeah.
Excuse me. As I mentioned, I think it was last episode, I still have the Watch 6, and it's working fine, and I understand it's going to get the updates. It should get the updates. I think the 4 is one that's not getting the updates, and that's one that my wife had. So we went ahead and got her a 10 earlier this year when they were on a blowout
great.
sale. So, she's
Perfect.
good
She
now
doesn't need
too.
anything else?
Yeah. And then an old watch, whether it can get the updates or not, is a good tool to hand off to someone who doesn't have one, just to give them the opportunity to get used to it, see how it works, and then decide if they really want a new one or not. And that's what we did with my wife's 4, is we handed it down, and now we have someone who's kind of testing it out and seeing if it's something they want to make part of their daily life.
Absolutely.
As far as the Ultra is concerned, it is expensive, but it's also big.
I like big watches. I've always had big watches in the past. When I used to wear analog watches and digital watches, I always had pretty good size watches. But I mean, I always go with the 45 millimeter. As far as the size. So,
but to be fair, I'm not. That's not a criticism. It's big to me.
No, not at all.
But it's not big when you compare it to other watches with similar functionality. Watches from Garmin and others that are designed to do what the Watch Ultra is designed to do.
Right.
It's within, it's within the proper boundaries of what that type of watch should be and how large it should be on your wrist. So I don't think that's really much of a criticism. But for me, I don't think I'd get it. I think I would get the, what is it, 46 millimeter? Is that the current size of the 10?
45 millimeter.
It's 45? Yeah. Whatever the larger one is, that's the one I typically would get.
Yeah. That's what I've done too. I mean, it's slightly more expensive, but that's okay.
Now this,
the small one just isn't me. I mean, my wife, I'm sure as your wife has the smaller one too, but
no, we get.
She likes the bigger one.
Yeah, she likes the bigger one.
Okay, good.
This seems like pretty big news. Did I just see 5G go by?
You did indeed. 5G cellular.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
If SOS pops into that, my prediction came true here, even though it might not be a Pro.
Well done, Dave.
I've never found the cellular to be of need, because I'm one that always has my iPhone with me. I go crazy if I didn't have my iPhone with me. I know a lot of people like to go jogging and running and not to have to carry their iPhone with them. And the watch is the way of being able to listen to music and be able to connect. But I just never felt. Plus, you have that extra expense. It's like $15 plus a month.
Yeah.
And
I always look at the watch as being an adjunct to the phone rather than a standalone.
Right. Same here.
Yeah.
The one
I bought it 1 year because I couldn't wait. in 1 year because the non-cellular wasn't available, so I bought it like a dummy and never activated it and never used it. But so why am I paying extra money for it?
Oh, and I'll come clean. The watch I have has cellular on it, and I've never activated it. It's just not something that I've used for the same reasons as you, Dave. But some of the use case scenarios where I have heard that it's very useful are things like hiking, surfing, activities where you don't necessarily want to bring your phone with you in addition to the watch, but you want that connectivity. And it's actually been a useful emergency device for folks in those situations when they don't have their phone with. So there are definitely situations where you would want it and use it, but I'm with you. It's not something that fits within my daily life.
Absolutely. So they've hit upon the high blood pressure measurements. Looks like that is going to be a thing.
Oh, nice.
I know they've been talking about that on the Apple Watch for a while. And it's also measuring hypertension and warning that you may be experiencing some hypertension with blood pressure. That's like people who are out high stress jobs get stressed. That gets another warning. And then actually more enhancements here with sleep. They're doing giving you notifications. You can set them that might be your bedtime. if you want to set them up. I don't use a lot of the sleep stuff on the watch. I just don't like wearing it at night. It drives me crazy. I want to just take it off, have charge, and be done with it. But with me having sleep apnea and I use a CPAP, I already have enough that I'm dealing with as it is. So
My wife does use the sleep tracking on her watch. In fact, she uses an app that Eric recommended, and that's the one that she still uses to this day and likes it so much better than what came with the Apple Watch. However, I've been banned from wearing mine at night because I don't have the sounds on, but I have it set to like buzz my wrist,
vibrate.
Vibrate.
vibrate. Yeah.
And apparently that vibration transmits through the bed. And so I've been banned from wearing mine at night. And so now mine's on the charger when I go up. So there you go.
Is there a focus mode for that you can say
There
don't
is,
disturb
but
me?
then how do I know I'm getting a notification? I like the buzzing.
Well, you don't.
Yeah.
That they just said 24 hours, up to 24 hours of battery life, which I think that's been around the same, maybe a little less, on the standard Apple Watch. As you know, the Ultra has more battery life that you can go on probably a day and a half or close to 2 days. So that's the other difference with the Ultra. So
I find it easy to get
talking about-
24 hours, even on the Watch 6. As old as it is, I can still get pretty close to 24 hours on it.
Yeah. There's definitely, it says 5G. There's that it has. That's great.
You know what, though? I did mention this before on the show. I don't load up my watch with a ton of apps. In fact, I don't really allow any third-party apps on it except for the stock Apple app. So to be fair, there isn't a whole lot that drains my battery on the watch, just the standard functionality of it.
I'm the same. I don't like enabling a lot of apps on my Apple Watch. I mean, there's so many ones, your weather. I might have the weather, but your bank and music and all that stuff. Some of the third-party apps, I just turn them off because it just burns the battery life.
I suspect it's for the same reason as me. I've got my phone with me all the time, just like you.
Yeah, exactly.
So I get those notifications. I don't need them doubled up on me.
Yeah. We're talking about the SE. That's the lower end watch, which looks like it's a pretty solid watch. That what it can do.
Yeah. A quick question: What of the medical sensing part of the Apple Watch is missing on the SE model specifically?
Trying to remember. I don't think it.
Put you on the spot there now.
Yeah, no.
Sorry.
I don't remember. I don't remember off my top of my head, but there was some limitations to what it could do. I don't know if there's a cellular version available for it or not.
Yeah, just wondering about things like the new sensors that are for the main watch, whether any of those are still available for the SE. Because I would be interested in a cut down Apple Watch rather than the main one. But if there's enough medical sensing on the main one that I might say, oh yeah, it's worth it. I'll go for a 10 or what is 11 now. Yeah.
I don't know the answer either, Darren, but I will put in a little plug for Apple's comparison pages. So when you're looking at the specs of a watch,
yes, they're very good.
It's a fantastic feature. And many tech websites have this sort of thing, but you can pick your Watch 10, your Watch 11, and your SE and literally scroll down and see what the actual differences are. And I found that a very helpful tool to convince me to not upgrade to the next higher model. It's one of those things that you're like, oh, that's the only difference? Cool. I can live with that. And you may find the same thing as you're looking at the SE, comparing it to the 11. I don't know if they call it the 11 SE or if it's just called the SE. I'm not quite sure. But whatever the current model is.
I cheated. ChatGPT is my friend. It's the ECG and the blood oxygen and the sleep apnea. Those three alone are not on the SE.
I wonder if they're on the new SE though, because they were kind of highlighting the health app and stuff on it.
I don't know. They were highlighting before they brought into the SE. So, now they're talking about the Ultra 3. Oh my God.
Well, maybe when we see the feature quilt, we can tell a little bit better.
Yeah, it just came up. I screen captured those right away. So I have them for reference for a few weeks. So,
You're going to need them for Thursday.
yep, I do it every event, and for tonight too.
And for tonight, yep. So we are up to the Ultra. They've taken us out to the mountains of California.
Look, the design looks a little different. If I remember correctly from the other ones.
It's a larger face.
Yeah. Well, what do you know? The Ultra has satellite.
Wait, didn't it
Yeah,
have
that
satellite
makes
before?
sense.
It might have had it on the series, on the Ultra 2.
You're right though. I don't know if Apple would be pushing it like they're pushing it if it was available before, but I thought it was, honestly. I could be wrong.
But
Probably am.
Nope, the 2 does not.
uh-huh.
It does have emergency
Yeah.
SOS on the Ultra 3.
You know, it appears to be satellite data communication, whereas before I think it was just for emergency services. So
Yeah, I think now you
No,
can
it's
send whole messages.
yeah, they're showing
Right,
messages
just like they've
and-
changed on the iPhone. Yeah.
and Find My and you're right. I'm confusing it with the iPhone, aren't I? That was an iPhone feature.
Now they have it on the watch, it seems.
Yeah. Now they
The Ultra, anyway.
okay. Got it.
And the battery life is 42 hours for the Ultra 3.
Oh, that's quite impressive. That could be worth the expense because it is quite expensive, but it is rather nice, isn't it?
I'm expecting $799 is what the price has been.
Yeah, that's pretty. That's quite a lot. But then when you look at these sort of ranges of luxury watches and other makes and manufacturers of luxury watches, it's not a scary price compared to the others.
It's quite low compared to some.
Yeah, compared to some, it's actually cheap as chips, as we say.
Cheap as chips.
Okay, the SE2, it's the SE3, that's $249. The Series 11 starts at $399. And the price is the same on the Ultra 3, $799.
$799.
You can pre-order today.
Of course.
And it's available on September 19th.
You know, it's interesting. They really blew through the Ultra watch just now. They
Yeah,
spent far more time on the 11.
It was very concise, though. I'm feeling really comfortable watching this and relaying the information. That's how concise I feel it is today.
Back across Apple's campus. Back
And
to,
talk
looks
Tim.
like we're back to Mr. Cook,
Yep.
who I understand is not actually in California today.
I heard about that.
Yep. He's using Find My to locate his spine. But
Oh,
harsh.
let's not go any further than that.
I'm not going to go any further than that.
Oh dear.
And we're on to
I
iPhone.
think today's event is going to be more of a iPhone and watch and not much else. And of course the software. So that's the thing that everyone kind of forgets. That we get a whole raft of every piece of software known, every OS known to man. There's loads of them. So that I think that's a big portion of the September event is the software, and everyone sort of forgets about the software side and just is thinking about the hardware.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
The software is the driving force behind these hardware introductions.
It really is.
Indeed.
Well, it's iPhone 17, Mike.
Darn, that prediction was wrong. You know, the 17, the 16, 17, 15, they're all great phones as is. Probably the
Mm,
sweet spot phone for most purchasers of a new iPhone. And I suspect
Yep.
I'll still feel the same after, even after they introduce the alleged Air and the Pro. Uh,
Right.
if you're not sure that you need those higher end features, buy the 17. You're going to be incredibly happy with it.
well, that's it. If you don't know you need the Pro features, then don't buy the
Mm.
Pro.
Don't buy the Pro.
So the 17 never had this before. The Pro only did. It's got Pro Motion and 120 hertz refresh
Excellent. Yes.
on a
That's going to be
17.
across the board now, I think, isn't it? So that's
Yeah. Yep.
allegedly across the board. So that's
Yep.
very good.
And a 6.3 inch screen. Isn't that a little bit larger, Dave?
Yes, a little
Yeah.
bit bigger. Is that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little bit bigger. Nice.
What was it,
And those bezels are getting
6.1
smaller
before?
and smaller every time.
Yeah. Until the all glass model that we're always hearing
Yeah,
about, right?
until they disappear entirely. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that is a good question, though, Darren. I am curious if the physical dimensions are more or less the same with
Yeah,
the
yeah,
6.3 inch, or yeah, 6.3 inch display,
yeah.
or
I think it is.
if we've seen a little bit of a size bump.
I think the size is pretty much the same, and they've just refined the bezel. 1 millimeter less bezel, and then that makes a big difference. Of course, it's excellent with that. It's not just 120 hertz display. It's a full ProMotion, so it goes down to 1 hertz. So that allows you to have the always on without sapping your battery. Or actually, you can't have an always on display if you have a locked 120 hertz or 96 hertz or something like that, because it'll just sap too much power. So I think ProMotion is required for you to have like an always on display.
Hmm.
So they announced the A19 chip. Of course, 3 nanometer size chip, 6-core CPU. This is on the 17.
Yes. Not the flagship model, but it looks pretty good flagship wise. Lots
Yeah.
of cores.
So they're saying about 20% faster on the GPU from the 16 to the 17.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Of course, got to talk about games.
Yeah, well that's it. I mean, it's a mid-range phone in a way, but it can still game quite nicely.
Yeah.
You can push out the pixels on that, no worries.
Of course, got to talk about Apple Intelligence.
Indeed. All that memory has to be put to good use.
Get the live translation, as we talked about on the AirPods Pro 3. The iPhone will continue on with that. Now they're spouting on all-day battery life. And you know what? The 16 Pro Max, for me, the battery life has been pretty awesome. I mean, for the most part, I haven't had to really worry about too much. But I know if I'm using it for a tremendous amount of time, then I know the battery's going to be down a little bit. But for the most part, it's lasted me the whole day.
I can typically get a full day out of my 13. Uh, you know, I love the feature where you can go into the battery and see what has allegedly been draining your battery, but do you ever get accurate answers from that? I never do. I can never figure out what is actually draining my battery. Last night I went from somewhere around 40% to 0 in just a couple hours, and I have no idea what drained it.
Yeah. Hard to say, something in the background maybe, those battery life, it's always been a mystery to what happens sometimes. Really, it's tough to go through that. Now they're talking about the camera. You got 48 megapixel camera. That's pretty impressive, and that's on 17.
That's very impressive.
Lens.
Did either of you, you were talking about the speed increases of the iPhone, did either of you see the John Prosser video from the other day? His kind of snarky pre-event keynote. He basically created the entire keynote in the span of, I don't know, what was it, like 8 minutes or 10 minutes, something like that, with amazing graphics, really, really good graphics. It looked like it might have been something produced by Apple. But one of the comments he made was, and I'm paraphrasing here, something along the lines of, "Oh, look how much faster I can scroll through Instagram now." And I think that's the case for most people. I mean, yes, it was a snarky comment, but it's a very, very true comment. When we see that the iPhone 17 is X% faster than the 16, what does that really mean to most people?
Yeah.
What does that mean to the average user? And in truth, not much. It doesn't mean much at all.
I think it depends. Some people may not know what they're missing, and it's something like that, isn't it? That you know when you aren't using a 120 hertz display, you know you're not using one because if you get used to it. So it's just it's not noticing what the positive is. It's noticing that something is missing.
Well, I think that's it, though. If you don't notice that you're missing something, are you missing it? Right? And I guess I say that jokingly, but not jokingly. If my phone feels, or my Mac, or my watch, feels as if it's providing me the information I need when I'm asking for it in a timely manner, how much does it matter if I could get it 20% faster?
Yeah.
And I think that was the point of Prosser's video. It was a good video. I'll link to it in the show notes because it was fun. It was very enjoyable. So I didn't know if either of you had watched it.
I don't think I had a chance to get that one. I forget to look at his stuff sometimes. A couple of things that did come up. They gave an estimate of how many selfies are taken in 1 year with the iPhone. 500 billion.
500
Crazy
billion.
number. Billion. And then
absolutely
amongst all iPhone users.
Yeah, all iPhone users.
Wow.
Yeah.
The front-facing camera now has a bigger square sensor on the front, and also it has center stage. So they've added center stage to the front-facing camera, not just the rear-facing camera.
Okay, that's interesting. That'll be good for using it as a camera, continuity camera.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. You know, because people, that's what everybody's doing. These young people, they like to move around.
These young people.
All these young people, they're whippersnappers.
What are you saying, Dave? You're saying we're not of this.
Get off my lawn, you kids who are moving around too much.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
But going back to continuity camera, that's actually a really, really good feature for that. If you can use the front-facing camera, because that's always been one of my problems with continuity camera is not being able to see what's happening on the phone. So if I can use the front camera and take advantage of things like that and still be able to maybe see that notifications that's coming in, I guess I could use my watch. But if I can still see that notification that's coming in, that would be great.
And of course, it's more detailed now. It's an 18 megapixel front camera rather than 12. So that's nice.
Right.
Nice bump. Nice little bump.
That's a big part of Apple's market with the core line of the iPhone, the 17. My wife has been perfectly happy with the 17. I didn't see her to justify the need. Why should she have the Pro?
Right.
She's always been fine with that.
And did I see it starts at 256 storage?
I missed that. I think it did. Yes.
Good point. I missed that as well.
I thought I saw that in
the starting storage 256. Yes.
Beautiful.
That's if they're at the same price point, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's value right there. Yeah.
The master design, the iPhone Air, I think.
Oh, look at that. Balancing it on your finger. Sideways, no less.
It's a little thin.
It's wafer thin.
We won't go to what happens next in that scene, Darren.
Yeah.
No, I'll leave it up to you guys to search the next bit.
I couldn't eat another bite. It's wafer
Oh,
thin.
no.
All right, shove it in. Good movie. Good movie.
So saying ceramic steel cases both the front and back of this.
You know, it's really interesting that they went from the 17 to this new phone, the Air.
Yeah.
I kind of
That's a
felt
good point. Yeah.
as if they were going to go from the 17 to the Pro and the Pro Max and then introduce the Air as something new. But they're kind of putting it right in between where it sits in the lineup.
I suppose so. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to anticipate. Yeah, I think this is going to replace their Plus series line because I don't think they've ever had some real good success with the sales of that Plus series for iPhone.
Yeah. I see what you mean with the screen getting slightly bigger.
Which is possible,
There's
'cause they
no
didn't
need for
mention
the
it.
other one. Yeah.
Unless I'm wrong, they could just add this in within the line. We'll see. But
Well, the last
yeah, they're calling it
Plus
and they're
was
calling it the
8.
iPhone Air. No 17.
Wasn't it the 8 Plus was the last Plus in the lineup, wasn't it?
Right.
But
It went to Max.
But for the 17 or the 16, they always had 2 screen sizes. And so
Yes.
now they've got 1 screen size on the 17, and you've got the Air as that kind of next bump on the way to the Pro.
Yeah. In between.
John Tunis
There's nanocrystals to improve. I can't even say it. Nanocrystals to improve toughness. So don't try to bend it. But it should be better if you did try to bend it or sit on it even.
The day this comes out, there's going to be 100 YouTube videos of people bending
it's
it.
awful. I hate seeing
you
those
know it.
videos. How dare they? How dare they actually try to bend one of these lovely devices?
Now, little side note here. Did you see where they're at, Dave? They are at the Apple Store.
I'm just going to tell you, he's filming right in front of the downtown Chicago Apple Store.
Along the Chicago River, probably
Where we sat.
Probably 100 yards from where we recorded episodes of the show. Yeah.
Yes.
That was fun.
It was. It was my most memorable episode.
We sat on the steps right along the river and recorded. That was great.
Yep, it was. They saw him all of a sudden going in the skyline of Chicago. I was like, oh, look at there. They decided to sprout out away from the Apple Park. That's a gorgeous store, too.
So here's a serious question, though. If the 17 has the dual cameras and the Air has the single camera, is this really a step up from the 17? If photography is the key to your reason for getting it.
Yeah.
I think it depends if you use that wide angle lens. Often people that have the straight up 17 with two cameras, they tend to not use that wide angle very much. But if you do use wide angle very much, then that gives you your choice. You should go for the 17. But if you don't, then the Air is definitely on your radar because that is the most popular size of lens to use, the one that it has. So,
well,
I think I might be in that boat myself, actually.
They brought the VP they brought the VP in for Apple Silicon, and they are now putting the A19 Pro in this iPhone Air.
Nice.
So they're going all out on this, but I think the rumors were the question of the battery life. Where's that going to be with such a thin design?
Yeah, it's bound to be compromised a bit, but you can do a lot with software optimizations as well. I think they're going to be doing quite a good job there with the battery, but it's definitely going to be limited from the from the other phones.
Well, I think it could be a good seller. I mean, it's the type of iPhone that's small.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like our friend of the show, Brittany Smith, once loves keeping her iPhone 13 mini, and you know, Apple stopped making the mini about what, 3-4 years ago now. So this might be compelling for her because it is smaller. I mean, it's a slightly bigger screen.
I thought the Air was larger physically than the
It's going to be a little larger, but it's the thinness might attract people who like the mini.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just throwing it out there. I can't say for sure. The mini is so tiny. I mean, gosh, whenever I would hold it with my big hands.
Welcome to the iPhone 1. Yeah, the mini is small.
Wow. Yeah, when you go back to the original iPhone video and you look at the screen at 320 pixels and you think, how did we ever cope with such a small screen? But of course, at the time, it was amazing. It was huge compared to the others.
I don't have it here, but on my desk at the office, I've got a 4S. And whenever I pick it up, I'm like, how did we ever use this thing? It's so incredibly tiny, but very pocketable, very easy to carry around versus
I love my 4S.
Even the standard, yeah.
So now they've introduced the new N1 chip that's going to manage the Wi-Fi, the cellular, I think it was the Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth on a separate chip, and then they have the C1X, which is going to be the improved cellular chip. That's also going to be in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they have 2 new chips besides the A19 Pro in this iPhone Air.
Yeah, yeah. For connectivity specifically, looks like.
Well,
So
they're saying it's going to be the most power efficient iPhone ever.
It needs to be.
So we've got the C1X, that's the cellular chip, and what was the
That's
other
the
one,
upgrade.
Dave?
N1.
N1.
N1
Okay.
chip. Yeah. That's let me go back to the stats here.
Is that a neural accelerator? Or is that something different?
No, it's going to manage the Wi-Fi and the cellular in there as well.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So it's got a 48 megapixel fusion camera. So it must be doing fusion technology with one lens.
Yep, that's possible.
So
You can
that
use
may be the answer,
sensor
Darren.
shift. Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, that it was going to be using sensor shift to do what you can normally do with 2 lenses in one.
Yeah. So it's got two lenses fusioned. You've got the 48 megapixel fusion with an f1.6 aperture and a 12 megapixel 2x telephoto.
Yeah, 1.6 is good.
Oh yeah, 1.6 is amazing.
It is excellent. Yeah, I mean, I've got a semi-pro camera, a separate camera that's 1.7. So this is slightly better than my semi-pro camera. So
Yeah.
So I'll just make a small comment about Fusion. The last time Apple put something called Fusion into their devices, it didn't go over quite so well.
iMac.
But this does look better. This does look better.
this should enable jumper mode for your photos.
The front-facing
Or sweater mode, as you guys call it, sweaters, don't you? Sweater mode.
Sweater mode? What? Please enlighten me, Darren. What is sweater mode?
What is
Yeah, or one of the early benefits of the Fusion technology. So it's processing images to enhance the detail there. So one of the things was to particularly take a photo of someone wearing a loosely knit, hairy jumper, and some of the hairs on the jumper are sort of generated through the Fusion technologies. To enhance the hairs on your jumper.
Okay, that seems like
That's great.
That seems like photography technology we do not need. But
I think it's good.
I'm sure there's a niche market out there for it, so we'll let them have it.
So the one big thing that this I knew this from the rumors that are out there. They're spouting on how great eSIM is, and eSIM is amazing. Every iPhone in the U.S. no longer has a SIM tray. That's going to be a challenge in the EU and other countries because they still rely on eSIMs. So I'm not sure what they're going to do. I think I would bet that this phone will only come out in the U.S. at the moment. I'm not sure what they're going to do in other countries that require.
That's a very good point. Will the Air be even available in Europe?
I don't know how it is in the UK. Is that a true
Yeah,
for the UK?
that's the thing. Most of us in the UK are wedded to our physical SIMs, and we haven't had an iPhone yet that was eSIM only, although it's just a matter of time. It's mainly because our carriers here, quite a lot of them haven't jumped over to support eSIM as well yet. So we're still hanging on to our physical SIMs. But it's coming. It's definitely going to happen the next time phones come out. I think we're going to go down the road of eSIM only, same as you guys.
Well, I have a question. So I have a 13 and I've got a physical SIM in it. But my understanding was that the current models of iPhone pre-17 were eSIM only, that you couldn't put a physical SIM in them. Am I hearing you guys say that in the EU, the current model
the phones are different.
Have physical SIM slots?
Have a SIM tray. Yes, yes, that's right. So it's slightly different over here.
I did not
Slightly
know that.
different over here.
Interesting.
So they were talking about adaptive battery modes where it's intelligently adapting to how the battery is using its power. So there's a new technology. I want to read more about that one. But they were also showing about of course, the companion MagSafe battery that you can connect to the back of the phone, to the iPhone to say, oh yeah, look at that.
I do not mind the reintroduction of the MagSafe battery.
Yeah, it's fine.
I think that was a fantastic product that Apple had. I have one myself. I still use it to this day. There are advantages to third-party batteries, to some third-party batteries, but most of them are bulky and not quite as elegant a fit on the back of the phone as Apple's was. So I'm excited to see that there's a new MagSafe battery. That's very cool.
Yeah. And they were just showing a translucent case that goes with it. And interesting, a lot of people like those lanyards, they go around your neck or on your shoulder. Well, they actually have the translucent case that has that capability. Yeah.
No.
Afraid so, yeah.
That is not safe.
My older folks like that. I mean, believe me, my mother-in-law wears it around her neck every day because she always loses it and puts it somewhere. So,
why don't they introduce chains to go around your neck and so you can
put your glasses on there as well.
I have other family members that like it too. I don't like it. I'm a person who puts it in the pocket, even though I have a Max.
Well, one. Having it slung around your side while you're riding your bike seems like there's potential for damage to the phone there.
Because it's going to start flapping around. Yeah.
Right. But it also does seem as if it makes it a little bit easier to steal. If someone can come along and rip that thing right off your side. Well, I mean, I'm not encouraging that, obviously, but
that's pretty solid from what they show.
Yeah, it's got to be a steel cable reinforced sling there.
Yeah.
Although it might mean you won't sit on it anymore, Mike. So it could be a good thing for you.
I put my phones in my back pocket all the time.
Exactly.
I know you don't like that.
So many people do.
Yeah.
Maybe you need a holster.
I do not like the phone in my front pocket at all. I just don't like that. So I put it in my back pocket, and occasionally I sit down and it's still there, but it doesn't. I'm not sitting right on the phone. It's sitting on my rear.
You're only bending it slightly.
I see it all the time. The young ladies who have the slightly tighter jeans and pockets, and I see that phone sticking right out in that back pocket.
Right in the back pocket.
Easy to pull right out and start using it.
Yep.
I talk about the iPhone 17 Pro.
Yeah,
we moved on to the Pro already. Okay.
It looks like it has the A19 Pro processor, which is the same processor in the iPhone Air. that's different because I don't. I mean, even the Plus series that they had, those that stayed with the. If I remember correctly, that had the non-Pro chip in that phone too. So now we've got a somewhat Pro phone in the iPhone Air, and now of course the Pro that they're talking about now.
I suspect what we'll find is that it's a variation of the Pro, like in the MacBooks.
Yeah.
You've got the M4 Pro, but you've got two variations of the Pro, one a little bit more powerful than the other. I suspect that's what we're going to learn is the case here. Could be wrong, but I think when it comes down to the nitty-gritty technical details, we may find that it's just a different version of the Pro.
Yeah.
I do like that kind of bronzish orange color, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks better than the previews
some,
looked. Absolutely.
Yeah. At least some different colors this time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Finally, some color in the Pro line. It's
I like
been
that dark
lacking
blue,
color
it's
for a
nice.
while.
I might go with the blue.
Yeah, that looks good. That looks very cool.
There was a blue in the past. It looks pretty close.
Yeah, I'm not so sure. I think I don't know I still don't know whether I'm going to go down the Air route or the Pro route.
And Jaws always has to talk about the Pro. That's like a synonymous for the iPhone Pro. He's talking now. So it's got quite a raised part of the iPhone because now we've been so used to the camera like this. Now it's a full cross like this raised bump instead. So
get your Pixel and show us what it looks like, Dave.
Like this.
I just thought. I think.
Yeah.
I think that the Air doesn't have a LiDAR sensor. Is that correct? Because I do use LiDAR.
That they didn't mention it, but I'm sure it's in the grid, and then in fact it may not.
I'll have to look that up later because that'll be a deal breaker for me. If there's no LiDAR, I'll have to go Pro. So there you go. That'll be my mind made up.
Mm-hmm. So talking about the enhanced titanium finishes. It's a deep blue, that color.
Yeah, very
cosmic orange.
It does look quite cosmic.
Yeah, I don't know if as much as I like getting the unusual colors on the Pro. I'm stick with the blue.
If I were buying a Pro, that orange would be in my cart right now. I love it.
It does look good. Yeah. It looks more bronzy than just.
Maybe
just
I twist my arm. Maybe
orange.
I will. Just go. Be different.
There was a car manufacturer that had a color very similar to that we tried to get. It turns out you could only get it on a particular line of that vehicle, but they called it Mango Tango. I love that color name, Mango Tango.
Nice. Ooh, what's that?
Oh, now here's the tech specs, and I did not commit the specs to memory for the A19 Pro on the Air.
Okay. They already have it out on they put it out on the Mac Rumor site.
I didn't catch where this Apple store is that they're talking about the Pro in. That is a really cool store.
Yeah. This looks like Lincoln Park. I'm sure it's not that, but I know the Lincoln Park store has kind of that design.
Yeah, that vapor chamber is going to make a fair bit of difference, isn't it, on the Pro?
Yep. Ceramics
for sustained processing.
I'll take that 3 times better scratch resistance.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't have any deep scratches, but I have enough that I've got smudges and stuff. Hopefully they don't make me replace the glass, but you can't see unless you're really looking at the light.
Yeah, mine's looking quite good for a 5-year-old phone. No scratches at all that I can see. Anyway.
I just can't put those. I can't bring myself to putting on those screen protectors. I know everybody likes them. I just can't.
That's it. I've got no case either. No case, no screen protector.
The case I go with. I like case.
Honestly, I was trying to remember if I did have a screen protector on my phone, and I just picked it up and looked at it. I do have one on there.
Yeah.
It's very, very thin. I will say it's the second one I've had on this phone. The first one bit it when I accidentally dropped the phone and it landed face down on a rock. And
I'll do it.
I picked it up, and of course, I assumed that the damage was not just to the screen protector, that it carried through to the phone. But I was very, very relieved to see that the screen protector did its job. It did exactly what it was supposed to do. So I could pull that off, put the replacement on, and I am happy to keep them on the phone for now. But with all the new features that Apple's introducing to the glass on their phones, I don't know how critical these types of things will remain, as we move forward.
That's the thing. Yeah, it improves every year. It gets better. And there's always this fine line, isn't there? Because if you increase the protection for cracks, you increase its scratching, and vice versa. So if you decrease the scratching, you end up with a phone that shatters easier. So it's a tricky line to walk.
They just said the all three lenses on the iPhone 17 Pro are 48 megapixels. All three of them.
Yeah, all three. Yeah,
as well as Fusion. Get 8x zoom on that.
Yeah, that's nice.
8x telephoto. Yeah. So
that must mean that there's
2.8.
That must mean that there's an internal moving lens inside, potentially.
Possibly. I got to start comparing my Pixel 10 XL with this new iPhone to see, because people are spotting that the camera on that phone is really good. I haven't had a chance to spend time with it yet, but
yeah, Pixel cameras have always been really good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But it's Android.
Well, I was going to say that Android in the past, at least, has relied a bit more heavily on processing photos in the cloud. So that's why there's a little bit of a delay when you take a picture and until it appears. There's about a few seconds delay, which does make the photo potentially better, perhaps. But sometimes it's not quite as realistic. And of course, it's not real time. So I do prefer the iPhone's way of doing things with their camera, because everything you're shooting is real time. So what you see in the viewfinder effectively is what you're going to get when you press the shutter, rather than something else you might get after the photo's processed on most Android phones.
I think the key to what you're saying there, Darren, is most Android phones. I think if you go with the pure, the pure Android experience, I think if you go with the Pixel, I think you would probably find that the experience is a little different.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, in the early days that was the case, that they did a lot of image processing at the back end rather than on device, whereas now that might be quite a lot different now. So with the TensorFlow neural engines on the Android phones, they tend to start to do things as well as the iPhones do. But iPhones have always processed things locally.
They were saying 40x digital zoom on that to the telephoto, and it was extremely clear too. Excuse me.
Yeah, I will definitely have to see that in person. I'm not impressed with digital zoom on any device.
Sure.
It doesn't matter if it's an iPhone or a camera or whatever. I'll have to see that in person to see what it actually looks like. Optical zoom that's always the best.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
ProRes RAW.
Of course. Oh, of course. There you go. Thanks, Dave. Yeah, that's another good reason for
Mm-hmm.
sticking with the Pro, especially on the photography side, because
Right.
ProRes and RAW shooting isn't supported on the Air, I believe. So that would also be a deal breaker. So there you go. I think I made up my mind. It's Pro. Pro's the one.
Yeah, where the Air is not going to have that.
Exactly. Yeah. So for Pro RAW shooting, it's got to be the Pro.
Isn't that key if you're talking about native software only, like the native camera app? But aren't there third-party apps that unlock raw shooting on other models of iPhone?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they do it differently. So taking the raw data from the sensor and then using their own internal code to process it is different on third-party apps than it is on the first-party camera app. So if you want to shoot in Pro RAW, you have to have first-party camera app support.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that swayed me now. There you go. So I'm finding I'm using my phone more and more for photography than an actual camera. So I'm sure other people are the other way around, perhaps. But yeah, I'm just using my phone more and more for photography. So yeah, that is a big part of why you would actually upgrade in the first place is the cameras.
And I know you said, remind me again which phone you currently have.
I have a very well looked after iPhone 12 Pro.
Right.
So it's doing
right.
very well, but it's 5 years old now. So that's
right.
I usually don't go this long before doing an upgrade. My usual sweet spot is once every 3 years, maybe 4 at a stretch. But this time it's 5 years, and I'm starting to feel it. It's like, oh, I need something new and shiny now.
Yeah, because that's right. I remember it was the 12 Pro because I had commented that is arguably a better phone than my 13. I remember saying that. Yeah.
Yeah, even if it's an older model, because it's the Pro, it's got those
Right.
Extra glass and cameras and the LiDAR sensor and so on.
Do you always get the larger Pro, Dave? The larger of the two
Always.
models? Always?
I've had the phone since it first came out, going way back to the 6 Plus, I think was the first larger size.
I'm looking at that 6.9-inch screen, and that just seems obscenely large. I mean, I can't imagine carrying that
I think the
around.
16 Pro Max is pretty close to that.
Wow.
It's like having an iPad mini to your ear. Not that anyone holds a phone to their ear anymore.
No, they don't.
That's so old-fashioned.
I do. I'm old. I hold my phone to my ear. I'm sorry. But
it's so old-fashioned nowadays.
You have to keep moving it. Okay, I can hear you now. Wait, now I can talk to you. I can hear it to you. Now I can talk to you.
Where's the microphone? Oh dear.
I can definitely see situations where you want the 6.9-inch, and they're showing, using it in pro filming situations here. So I can see wanting to have the larger screen, but to me it's just, man, that's a large device.
Yeah, nice though.
So they've got the pricing. The pricing's pretty much the same. And 256 is going to be the starting point, and you can get all the way up to 2 terabytes on the Max. Yikes! That's going to be $2,000 easy.
Easy.
Well, you get up to $1,100 on a trade-in. It's Friday the pre-order, as always. September 19th, you can get them. I'll be sitting up early morning and pre-ordering.
You're not going to be standing in line at the Apple Store, Dave?
Well, here's the prices. Yeah.
Yeah, it was $799 for the 17. Then you had $999 for the iPhone Pro, iPhone Air, and then Started at I think
10.99
$10.99.
for the iPhone Pro. I wonder what that translates to pounds. That's probably one for one.
Yeah, close. I think that's all she wrote.
You want to know what it translates
missed-
to right now?
Oh, go for it.
I mean, we can pull up. Oh, wait, I can't pull up Spotlight. It's not coming up. Why isn't Spotlight coming up? Spotlight,
Oh,
where'd you
broken.
go? All right, here I'll do it. What did you call it in the show last time? Slumming it? I'll slum it. I'll go to my browser.
Wow.
All right, that. Oh, wait a minute. It reversed it. I want USD. Well, it didn't reverse it. I typed it in wrong. 812 pounds sterling.
Oh, yeah. I don't think that's what it's going to be when it's
So what
made
would you
available. It's
imagine? 8.99 pounds sterling or 7.99? That's interesting. Or do you think it'll be 1-to-1? What do they
think it's going
traditionally
to be
do?
a one. Usually, it's a 1-to-1. So a $999 iPhone is £999 usually. So
Wow.
it's usually a 1-to-1. Yeah, exactly. So you guys get things cheaper than we do.
That's a
We have to
bad
pay a
deal
bit
for
of a
you.
premium. Exactly. I thought it was going to be the other way around. And you
That's
guys were going to be paying more, possibly.
$1,486.
Wow, that sounds a lot. Now you mention it like
Yeah, that's huge. No iPad Pro. By the way, they've wrapped up.
No.
We've been
They're wrapped
doing
up.
Oh, they've
we've
wrapped
been
up.
doing
Is that it?
currency conversions
Wow.
here, but they've wrapped up. No iPad
Still
Pro.
waiting for the store to come open here.
Dave's waiting for the store to come open.
It's waiting for the store. Ah, cool. Okay.
Dave has
Let's go
screen
to
capped all
Apple.
the feature quilts because
Not yet. I couldn't get to them.
he's detail oriented like that. But what do you think? Let's start with you, Darren. You are actively investigating a new iPhone. You're actively investigating a watch. However, you're also actively anticipating a new iPad or a new iPad Pro. So
That's right. Yeah.
with our last conversation in mind and with today's event in mind, where do you see your pounds being spent?
Where are my pounds going to Apple? They're all going to Apple. I might as well just sign over my paycheck to Apple. And
By
just
the way, is
do
that
it
the right way
way.
to say it? Is that the right way to say it? Is where are your pounds going?
Well,
Like we would say,
you can-
where are
you
your
can say-
dollars going, right? So what?
Yeah, that translates happily. Yeah,
Okay,
no worries.
okay,
You can
all
say
right.
that. Yeah.
So where are your pounds going?
So I think because of the age of my phone, my iPad isn't quite as old. So I think my first purchase is going to be a phone upgrade, and then I'll do an iPad replacement the next year. I think I'll just split it out like that. So yeah, the first thing I'm going to buy is going to be a replacement iPhone. I may go down the route of also pairing that with a new Apple Watch.
Mm-hmm.
And not that it's been announced and it's all just rumors at the moment, but there are rumors of a new Apple TV, and that is high on my list as well. So I could slot that one in because it's not terribly scary on the price scale, and a new Apple TV would be rather good because I'm at least 2 or possibly 3 generations old on my Apple TV. So when a new one comes out, I'll be first in line to get one of those. But yeah, I'm expecting that to only appear later on in the year, maybe just a press release, maybe a part of an October event or some other event like linked to maybe some new Macs and so on. So it may be one of the things mentioned then, but it's possible it's just going to be like a press release, and that's fine by me, no problem. But that's another thing that's on my list. So the first 3 things I'm going to be looking at getting are a new iPhone, an Apple Watch, and a Apple TV.
One of the things that Apple is really good about doing, and this is true for the Macs and the iPhones, but it's especially true for the Apple TV, I've found. I've gone through numerous Apple TVs because Apple does this, and that is lop off older models when new versions of tvOS come out. Have you looked to
Yeah,
see if your current Apple TV supports
I
the
have.
new?
Yeah. Amazingly, my rather ancient Apple TV will support Apple tvOS 26. So
Okay, very
it
good.
won't have all the features. It won't have all the features, and there'll be certainly things, some stuff missing, including some things that won't be rendered the same
Mm,
because the liquid glass uses a fair bit of processing power.
right, right.
So my old Apple TV probably couldn't quite cope with the full blown interface design. So I think it will look slightly different, slightly downgraded, but nothing too drastically bad. So yeah, I think it's going to be great. I'm going to be able to upgrade to the new software before going down the route of upgrading the hardware a few months later, or whenever the new one is announced and released.
And then as far as the watch is concerned, not having had one before, I kind of heard
Yeah,
you going back and
no
forth
upgrade.
between maybe the SE, maybe the 11, maybe even the Ultra. Have you kind of coalesced that thought in your head a little bit?
I I have indeed. Yes, the SE is missing a few too many things to measure health-wise,
Mm,
so that pushes me to the standard watch in the middle there. I won't be going ultra. I don't do much in the way of hiking. If I did, that'd be great.
right.
Um,
I think all three
and
of us can
I
say that
also won't go.
sentence. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I won't be going cellular either. Although I did see that video in the last lineup where they were showing some guy that had paddled out in his canoe out into the middle of the sea, got
Mhm.
swept away, and was saved by his Apple Watch because he'd chosen to buy the cellular model. So if you do things like that and you do find yourself paddling out to sea regularly and not taking your phone, then definitely spring for the cellular version of the Apple Watch because it could literally save your life.
Yeah, yeah, definitely worth the $10 to $15 a month or whatever the cell company charges you to have that feature.
Absolutely.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Um, Dave, what about you? You upgrade your phone every year. You're in their upgrade program, right?
Correct.
So you get a new phone every year. It did sound like maybe you might stick with the watch you have, or are you thinking you might
Nope.
upgrade?
I'm just about to say pre-order right now,
You're,
and I
you're
already
gonna
pre-ordered the
pre-order. Okay,
AirPods.
great.
Their AirPods Pro 3 have been ordered,
Wow.
so that's already done.
Oh, and the AirPods. So the
Oh yeah,
AirPods
yeah, completely upgrading the AirPods.
and the
Yeah,
watch.
that's yeah. I'm going the trifecta, all
You're
three.
going all in.
I'm all in.
You're going for
Um,
that 3% cash back. I know what you're doing.
yeah, exactly. And the Apple Card financing is awesome too.
Oh, it's
But
amazing.
so yeah, I'm gonna do that. And I started looking at the Ultra. I was like, don't be stupid. Just stick with what you've been buying for all these years. I mean, it's a beautiful watch, no question about it. I've tried it
Yeah.
on before, and you know, being a big guy, it looks nice, but I'm okay with it. It's fine. So I'm gonna go with the 46 millimeters, the size, and the Apple Watch Series 11, and it's gonna come in. I think the color. I don't know what the color was. It was a. I like the darker colors, like the gray black. That's what I usually get. And I'll probably get they have the sports loop. I know they have they have the braided sole loop. I may do that again. I like those.
I
And then
I really like the sport bands. Especially the Nike sport bands. I really love the color
yeah,
schemes of those with
yeah,
the embedded specks of
yeah,
material, whatever they made out of. I don't know what they're made out of. But I
yeah,
love the Nike sport bands. Right now, I've
yeah,
got the this year's Pride band, which I really like. Again, made
yeah.
from.
I'm wearing the last year's here, so
I've got that one too. Yeah, I love both of
yeah.
those. But this year's was made from the recycled band material, which I thought was
Yep,
really
I have
really
that one
cool.
too.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So that I
So
tend to always get the sport bands, but I do like.
yeah,
What are the ones with the I think you just is it the Sport Loop that has the Velcro
the
closures on it?
sport loop. No, that's the textile braided solo loop, and then there's the sport loop.
Mm.
Those two. Um,
Those are
Yeah,
nice
I'm
bands.
going to debate on this. I don't think I'll have too much trouble getting in and getting my watch right away. So,
Well, the nice thing with the watch
we,
is you're not locked into whatever band you pick. You are a little locked into the color. You get aluminum
you,
or stainless steel, or what do you get when you get
no,
your
I
watch?
want aluminum. There's aluminum and titanium. The aluminum is the standard price. I
Yeah,
just don't justify that. It's another $200 for the titanium. I just
yeah.
don't. I can't justify that. So
we got confirmation of the UK price from Apple's website.
Oh, what is
yeah,
it?
no,
So the iPhone 17 Pro is £1,099.
Wow. Yeah, no compromises there.
no.
Nope.
It, it may be cheaper to fly to the US, buy a phone, and then fly back home
Yeah,
again.
that's it. Could be. Could be.
Problem is you need a SIM card tray, and that doesn't have it.
Well,
Well,
there are
yes.
carriers that offer eSIM, though, right?
Yeah. I just
There
have
is.
to make sure my
Okay.
current carrier allows that switch over. There's a switchover thing as well. I've
Okay.
never seen the process, but I believe it's quite clever and straightforward. That if you do the upgrade process from an old phone to a new phone, you put them side by side, and
Yeah,
they're having a chat to each other.
yeah,
They'll negotiate, and they say, "Oh, you're a phone with a physical SIM tray. Do you want me to migrate your SIM to an eSIM?" And apparently, it's all automatic. Although I've never actually seen the process for real in real life. So
yeah.
yeah, I'm quite happy to. In fact, it could be possibly make life easier to just swap over to using an eSIM instead, and just not have one of these fiddly physical, ultra tiny little wafer thin
Yeah.
cards.
Lefathin. Yes, the look, we can talk about how nice some of the features are of, let's say, the Pixel or other competing phones, but honestly, when it comes right down to it, it's it's the day-to-day usability of the iPhone, which is why all three of
Yeah,
us, and I imagine a good number of the folks listening to this, continue to get the iPhone. And you just highlighted one of the absolute best features of the iPhone, and that is
absolutely.
how
Yeah,
easy it is to migrate from an old phone to a new one. When you attempt any kind of migration from an old Android phone to a new one, just count on at least a day, if not multiple days, of pain and heartache
yeah.
as you try to
Take the
get
day off
stuff
from work.
moved from one to the other. It is a major pain in the tuchus, and I don't know why that can't be streamlined. But the same thing can be said about Windows. Upgrading from one Windows computer to another Windows computer is a royal pain. And if these companies are going to steal anything from Apple, why don't they steal that? Steal the process that makes it easy to migrate from an old device to a new one. And you know what? Maybe people would upgrade more frequently than they do right now. When you're talking about Windows computers and
Yeah.
Android phones, they keep them forever because they know the heartache they're
How
going to
much
have
of a
to go
pain it's going
through
to be. Yeah.
to get to a new one. All right, let me get down off my soapbox. So all in all, it was pretty much what we expected. Unfortunately, everything that we heard was going to come is what was debuted. In fact, I didn't get a chance to read this before we got into the actual event, but we did get a prediction from our friend Nick in Germany, who wrote he just wanted to pre-comment on tomorrow's Apple event. So obviously I received this yesterday. He says, not a fan, actually said I hate, but not a fan of those guys who publish 2 days before the Apple event online that show everything that we're about to see on Tuesday. But then he says, I must admit that my iPhone 12 Pro Max still works fine. The camera still works fine. So no iPhone 17 for him. Oh, he says, and I forgot to mention that even the next generation of Apple Vision Pro, which we had not heard was going to come today, and still is, we're still waiting for announcements on that. But even the Apple Vision next generation would not excite me because he has eyesight problems and thinks it would be a waste of money. Now, I did respond to him. I think there are prescription lenses you can get with the Vision Pro, right, Dave?
Oh, yes. Yes, but they're extra. Yeah.
They're extra. They're extra. They don't come with it, but I'm pretty sure you can accommodate a good number of vision issues
Yeah.
with the Vision Pro.
Yeah, you can show Apple your prescription, and
Yeah.
they'll just take that and
Right.
get you the custom lenses. Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yep.
wear glasses, Dave. Do you have prescription lenses in your
No,
Vision
actually,
Pro?
these are readers.
Oh, they're
I,
readers.
I don't
Okay.
need. I don't. Yeah, I don't need them when I'm using the Vision Pro because the Vision Pro for me is bright enough and crisp enough that I'm okay. I mean, I only need it for close look. I'm looking at because I look at like we all look at computer screens for obscene amount of time every day.
Yeah.
That yeah, I just need some cheaters to help me along a little bit when I drive and all the other things I do. I don't need them, but when I use the Vision Pro, I'm fine. It doesn't matter to me. If I were to do it, I don't have a prescription, so I wouldn't be able to even do it. I don't know what the lenses would be. So I mean, my eye doctor said my sight otherwise is good. It just as you aged, you have some challenges with your sight, but the readers,
As
the
we all
readers have
do.
been good, pretty cheap. Yeah, but the readers have been good for me. Yeah, so the Vision Pro, nope, I don't need it.
I will say that Nick wrapped up his email by saying he could go on, but he had to go feed the sheep. Nick runs an amazing nonprofit animal sanctuary in Germany, and he and his wife just do an amazing job tending to these animals, rescuing them, and giving them a new home and place to live out their lives. So, kudos to Nick and Bee for all the hard work they do there. Yeah, well, that's the event. Did they announce, Dave, when iOS 26 is going to be out, or indeed
didn't.
macOS 26?
And these events they usually don't. I mean, you end up finding out, Mac Rumors and all the other sites are going to start telling you when. Usually, when it happens is it's going to probably come out right before the 17. All the devices come out on Friday the 19th. So I would anticipate it may come out a day or two before. They'll probably have a release candidate. I would anticipate probably this coming. Today is Tuesday. I would say potentially towards the end of this week, or maybe the following Monday coming up, that you'll get a release candidate, and it's pretty solid. I've been running all the updates on. I've been running it on my iPad Pro M4. It's been running flawlessly. Absolutely love the window features on the iPad Pro. The iPhone. I have an iPhone 16e is my second iPhone. It's been working great, and I'm looking forward to really digging into it. I've been trying to spend more time on it, and then macOS 26 Tahoe is running on. I've been running it on my MacBook Air. That's my secondary Mac, and solid, very solid. With beta cycle has been pretty good. There hasn't been a ton of bugs.
Good.
So we're looking, for across all the OSs. I mean, I don't put it on the watch, and I tend to don't put it on the Apple TV. But Apple TV, it's not a big deal. But yeah, I think I would say. If I were to predict, I would say it's going to probably get released, I would say Tuesday or Wednesday of next week.
Give themselves one more week to work out any final bugs before they roll it out to the public.
Got to get the release candidate out, and I wouldn't be at all surprised that might happen today. It's very possible.
And by the way,
it's usually.
Go ahead, Darren. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I was just going to mention, as you were saying, Dave, on the timing side, it's usually a week or so after the final release candidate. Gives the developers one final week to nail down any slight potential bugs before it's released.
Yep.
So yeah, I think you're right.
And I was going to say, by the way, we kind of glossed over this when they showed all the pricing, but Dave mentioned it just a moment ago. The iPhone 16e is still in Apple's lineup, and it was $599. Yep. So great starter phone for anybody. If you're just looking for something cheap, or you're looking for something to carry with you during international travel or whatever, that's a great kind of burner phone, if you will, if you want to keep an iPhone, but don't necessarily want to carry your entire life with you. Or if you do want to carry your entire life with you, it's a great little phone to have if you don't need all the features of the 17.
Yeah, in fact, our friend Marty, he's been carrying it around as more of his primary iPhone right now. So he's like me. I just got just an insane deal. I got a really good trade-in on an older iPhone. Got a really big credit through T-Mobile. So I decided, what the heck, I'll do it. And the monthly payments are like nothing. I think I'm paying like $10 a month or some crazy thing for 24 months, and it's just bill credits. And I did the same thing with the Pixel 10. I mean, I got a really good trade on that thing too. But it's a little crazy. I know it adds up, but I'm crazy. What can I tell you?
Yeah.
But I think I did go with the 512 gigabyte storage on the iPhone the last couple times. I'm going to start thinking about that a little closer before I make my decision which one that is. I may go with the orange one. I think you're right. I'd be different from that.
You've been swayed, yeah.
We'll see.
You swayed me a little bit because the cool thing about the upgrade program is they actually let you pre-order ahead of time, so I don't have to fumble around. Because at 7 a.m. you're getting on the phone, you're refreshing a page, and then oh crap, it's sent off a week. So they let us actually pre-order it ahead of time and have it already in the cart ready to go, and then once it opens up,
locked in, loaded.
Couple buttons, and it's Citizens Bank or one of the I forgot that. I think that's what it is. It's been that one forever. I think I've got pretty good credit with them. So for as many times as I've done it. So yeah, that's what I'll do. And yeah, it'll come out. Hopefully I'm going to be able to do it. And so I like picking up the phone and then we'll see what the trade-in I get on it. It's not trading. I have to trade it in. I have to give it back unless I decide to outright pay for it. There's been a couple years, like last year, the 15, my sister-in-law was ready. She had my 12 and I got her up. Then she went to my 15. So she gets a pretty good deal out of it because it only costs her half of what it would cost. Especially like I think my 15 had 512 in it too, so she only had to pay probably. I think all was left on it was about $600 left on it. So that's a pretty good deal with having 512.
That's a fantastic way to do it. And as good as all these phones are, handing it, you can never feel bad about handing it down to someone because they're going to get a good 2, 3, 4 or more years out of it.
I hold out. She likes to go 3 years at least, 3 to 4 years sometimes. I don't blame her. She's single income. She just wants to be careful, and it's not that crazy enough. But all my sister-in-laws all have their iPhones, and some don't want to upgrade, and others do. My other sister-in-law has already got the 16 Pro Max, and she upgraded. And I started talking to her about it. I said, we were just talking to her the other day when we were out to dinner, and she says, well, yeah. I said, there's going to be an Apple Watch coming out. She says, well, I bet you have the older one. She says, oh, yeah, I have the Series 6. I said, yeah, you're due, because now we're at the 11, so you might want to consider it. So, but who knows? In fact, I just tried to get the cost on the trade-in for the 9. You know what they want to give me? $25.
Oh,
really?
God.
Forget it. I might as well keep it for
I was
$25.
I'll give you $25 for it.
Wow.
I know, exactly.
Yeah, you could post
maybe
it to me. Mind you, the postage would be quite expensive.
Maybe I'll tell her you can have this one and just because I still continue on with the Apple Care on it because you can now you've got the ability to do the to re-up it. Like my M1 Pro Mac, I added it for another year, so
I did that.
I'm ready
with
to
my
get
studio.
this one. So
I went ahead and re-upped it because with the way that these are built these days, with all the non-upgradability, non-repairability to them, it just makes sense to continue it at the cost that they're offering it. Much more than that, and I'd say, you know what, I'll accumulate the cash and put it towards a new machine when it comes time. But when they offered it to me in June, I said, sure, give me another year. I think it was like $39 or something silly.
Yeah, and it's not a big deal. So I'll give her the option. Maybe she'd want this 9 and not have to go to the 11. At least the 9's going to be much better than the 6. So
yeah.
Well, before we wrap up, anything else from today either of you would like to bring up before we bring things to a close?
No, I think we hit all the good key points. There's going to be more talk about it across all of our podcasts here this week. So I got 3 more this week. So,
well, then
I was expecting a little bit more. I was expecting a little bit more information coming out for the OSs, especially the Mac OS. But I presume that is probably going to be in a more Mac-focused future event. Instead. So not too surprised that we didn't see much on the software side.
Yeah, typically what we'll see is when iOS is released, we're going to see Mac OS released. If not the same day, we're very close to it. And then sometime in October, we'll probably have either a minor event like this for some new Mac announcement, or unfortunately, maybe just a press release. Like you said about the Apple TV, it might just be something like that and say, oh, by the way, here's some new Macs. It just kind of depends on how excited Apple is about it. And honestly, with the pre-recorded videos, I'm not sure how excited Apple is even about the iPhone. I mean, be there in person, people. but that's me. That's me.
Times have changed.
I do appreciate the brevity of them. I will say that. And I think Apple has probably found that the efficiency of it and how quickly they can get information out, the ability to pre-record everything, and heck, if there's an error or a bug or a problem, they can fix it and make sure everything is pixel perfect when it comes to putting on the event. I absolutely get that this is how they do it. I miss the old days. I miss them coming out on stage
I agree.
and actually presenting the stuff live. But
Darn you,
what are you gonna
pandemic.
do? What's that?
Yeah.
Darn you, pandemic. That's what
Darn
caused
you,
it.
pandemic. I know. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of darn you pandemics that come up. But anyway, awesome. Well, then I think that's going to do it for this episode of For Mac Guys Only. I hope everyone enjoyed it. Remember, we do love to get your letters. So if you have any feedback about today's reaction time episode for Apple's awe-dropping event, you can drop me a line, mike@formatguysonly.com, or you can leave a comment in the show notes at our website, formatguysonly.com, especially if you have a tip to share, software or hardware problem with your Mac. Leave your favorites, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. I don't know where I'm going with that. All right. Do be sure to subscribe to the show's YouTube channel at youtube.com/FMEOTV and click that little notification bell so you can find out when we're going live. You can join the chat room, and you can catch all the behind-the-scenes stuff that doesn't make the final cut of the show, like my little stumbling just a moment ago. Hey, Dave, what's the best way for folks to get a hold of you?
Yeah, you could find me. I'm at In Touch with iOS at intouchwithios.com. YouTube channel is youtube.com/intouchwithios. I do a multitude of podcasts, including the Vision Profiles with Marty Gencius and Eric Bolden. I do Mac Voices Live. We'll be doing that tonight as we record today. To recap all this again, that's on macvoices.com and on YouTube and Mac Voices TV. Thursday nights we record In Touch with iOS at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube, and I'm on the Mac Show most Fridays in the British Tech Network on Friday mornings, and you can find me on social media, Blue Sky, and Mastodon is at DaveG65. Thanks again, Mike.
Awesome. Thanks, Dave. And this is why we don't have to have Chuck on the show, because you do all the promotion for him.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, Darren, how can folks get a hold of you?
So if guys want to send me an email at darren@formatguysonly.com, then I can give you guys some advice about what you might want to buy or might not want to buy. And it'd be interesting to see what you feel like buying after watching the event.
Very cool. Well, thanks so much for listening, everyone. Thanks to Darren and Dave for joining me this episode. Stay subscribed, and we'll talk to you next time. Which, by the way, next time, I'll announce this again. Next time will be October 11th for episode 459. All right. We'll wrap up and say goodbye to the live stream, and then I'll be right back with you two in just a moment. Bye, live stream.